Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a weekly plan with me. It is actually Monday, April 29th, and I'm planning out this upcoming week. If you've watched my weekly plan with me's in the past, I typically like to do them actually on Thursday or Friday whenever I'm wrapping up my work week. And if that doesn't end up happening, then sometime over the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. But we were out of town last week and I did have this on my list to do Saturday. We landed at like 10 a.m. So we had most of the day Saturday. Yesterday, and it didn't happen either day. So here we are doing it on Monday, which is totally fine, but let's go ahead and get this week all planned out. So I'm trying to decide between the two colors here. I have been, if you've watched the last couple of these, I have been doing two colors, one for work, one for personal, and I am consistently sticking with that. I think it's working for me. So this part of the video will look very similar, but I am changing something up with my to-do list planner, to-do list notebook, whatever you want to call it when we get there. So in terms of actual scheduled things this week, we're gonna do yellow for personal. So we have swim class on Thursdays. Excited to be back this week. And then Fridays, we have gymnastics. And then Friday evening, my husband and I have a date night to go see a show. We have, I know I've mentioned this on videos before, but we have Broadway and Chicago season tickets, which is really nice because it's basically a built-in date night once a month where we have tickets to go see a show. My mom watches our daughter and it's perfect. And then we actually don't have any plans Saturday or Sunday. I literally just had to pause and check and make sure that was the case, but that feels really good after some of the chaos we've been having. I do also on Thursday night, I'm gonna record the podcast with my sister. I'm not sure what time we're doing that. I'm just gonna like put it in the middle here. And I also never know whether to do podcast stuff as work or personal. It's a hobby. It's just for fun. My sister and I started a podcast. It's not anything serious. And in fact, we just kind of changed up the formatting to make it a little bit, oh, this is a brand new Papermate Flare. Okay. We just kind of changed up the format to make it a lot more casual and chatty, which means we record once a week now instead of once a month. But if you want a little bit more of an unfiltered version of me, come on over to the Sisters Like Us podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, so those are the personal time commitments. Let's do the work time commitments. So we have the live on Wednesday at noon, and we have the community call on Wednesday night. I couldn't resist having a community call. I didn't have any like reason to have it on Wednesday as opposed to Monday or Tuesday this week, except that it's the first of a month and I couldn't resist having a community call on the first of the month to actually kick off May together. So that is on Wednesday. And that is it in terms of scheduled stuff. Let's get to to-do list items. So I'm gonna start with just putting all the dots in. I've got 4 things I'd like to get to today. We'll see how that goes. And 4 things I'd like to get to tomorrow. However, I say that because it is a lot, but my mom was also out of town for a long time. And so she missed my daughter and she usually watches her very much. And so she's gonna try to soak up all the time she can with her today. So I do feel like I will be able to get most of that done. And then we have 2 things before the live and 4 things after the live. That's a lot. A lot of these are little things, but that's still a lot of things. And then the recap of this. And then 3 things on Thursday. And I'm trying to get back into my routine of not having work stuff planned for Friday. It doesn't mean I won't work Friday if things get carried over, but in an ideal world, I'm wrapping up my work week on Thursday and letting Friday just be household stuff and catch up and so that I can enjoy the weekend. Okay, so every day for sure we have the communication routine. So I'm just gonna start there. And then today, I need to edit this week's podcast episode and then do some content stuff and then the live outlines for May. Tomorrow, I need to prep videos and then I need to do the newsletters for May. And then I'm working on a giveaway that will have already closed by the time this video goes up. Hopefully you heard about the giveaway in one of my other videos. And then on Wednesday, we have prep for the live, and then afterwards we have the recap. We have my monthly analytics because it's the first. I try to do it on the first if I can. If the first falls on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I will do it. If it falls on like a Friday, I will do it the Thursday before. If it falls on Saturday or Sunday, I've been doing it on the Monday. I don't know. That's just what works for me. And then reels, film the reels for May, and then prep the call. That's getting a little close there. And then the replay of the call afterwards. Thursday, I'm working on a challenge coming soon. It's actually going to be very similar to the challenge we did this time last year, which is about refreshing your goals for the year. So it's a mid-year goal refresh challenge. I think it has a better name for it. I am going to go back and review what I did last year and see what I want to change and revamp about it for this year. But if you're interested, I'm going to leave the link below to sign up. It's absolutely free, totally free challenge. That will be, I forget the dates off the top of my head. It's in June sometime. It's going to be videos and handouts and emails and motivation and all the things. So link down below to sign up for the challenge if you are interested in joining us. Okay, and then plan. That's the last thing. After I do all the work stuff, I need to plan the following week. So those are all of the work things. In an effort to keep this as less cluttered as possible, I know I mentioned that before in a video too, I like having less on this page, which leads me into what I am changing about my weekly to-do list. So I had some Erin Condren credits that I needed to use up. So I got this new format of a notebook that they offer, and I have been using this as my to-do list planner. And if you have been watching me for years ago, I used a golden coil. I think that was years ago. It was like 2 years ago. I think it was a 2022 dated golden coil. No, maybe it was just last year. I don't know, y'all. I need to continue to drink this second cup of coffee to get me through where my brain is going. But I think I started the to-do list planner in 22 in a notebook. In 23, I used a dated golden coil. It was great and I did like it, but I didn't feel the need to buy it again and just moved back into a notebook. But I started using this notebook from Erin Condren and I was doing these as categories. So it was like work, personal, monthly tasks, weekly tasks, I don't even remember, goals, and next week I think were the categories. I have some personal stuff on the prior pages, so I don't want to show those to you. But what I'm going to try this week is instead of putting my to-do list tasks on this, like the little things, everything on this page, right, is time blocked. These are scheduled at specific times, whether it's work blocks or actual scheduled times. This is going to be my to-do list, but it's going to be broken down by day is what I'm trying. I feel like I'm doing an absolutely terrible job of explaining this, but it almost doesn't matter. So instead of the categories that I have been doing, what I'm gonna do instead is do Monday, Tuesday. You probably do not need to hear me talk through writing all of these out, so let's just jump to it being done. Okay, so what I'm gonna try here, I'm gonna start with just personal tasks because work tasks, nothing small has popped up yet. But if that happens, I will use the same color scheme as I did on the weekly plan. But I'm gonna start with my weekly tasks. So if you've been watching my goals videos, I have been talking a lot about monthly tasks and weekly tasks, and then I actually did a whole live explaining how I've been doing them. And I do have the list pulled up on my phone. I shared screenshots in that live, but what I'm gonna do is instead of putting them up here, which is what I've done in the past, I'm gonna put them here. So we have one each day, Monday through Thursday, and then ideally 3 on Friday. You notice I don't have a weekend box. That is because I am working towards a life where I don't have scheduled things on the weekends, except like social things. I work for myself. I have the flexibility and the ability to prioritize stuff during the week that I don't need. I don't want to. I want to be able to relax and enjoy the weekend. So anyways, I know that's not always going to be the case, and depending on how the weeks pan out, it's not always going to end up that way, but that is my goal and what I am ultimately working towards. These are the weekly tasks and how they break down by day. Now I'm gonna switch over to the monthly tasks, and this week is kind of funky. So I didn't get to a lot of my week 4 monthly tasks last week because I was out of town. And so even though it's kind of the first week of May, and I actually am already gonna use my May as my May goal sheet, I'm actually gonna use this and like start working on it this week. I'm gonna treat this week in terms of weekly or in terms of monthly tasks like the last week of April, which I guess it kind of is, and then move into, because I only have 4 weeks worth of monthly tasks. So I have a lot of them though. I also have some from week 3 that I didn't get to. So what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna break them up throughout the week. So let's see here. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 5. Okay. So let's just literally break them up throughout the week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some weeks I do try to do them all on Fridays just so I'm not cramming my other weeks, but some of these are small. So for example, the scent things, I could do that today. That's an easy one. Charlie's Fountain, I could do today. And then I don't want to do the bathrooms. Maybe I'll do the bathroom. Well, I like to do, I just wrote that down. Actually, Wednesday we'll do the brushes since it's already makeup stuff. I'm just gonna turn that R I was about to write into a B. So brushes. Thursday we'll do the bathrooms. And then Friday I will wash the bathroom rugs. Okay, so those are the monthly tasks. Then I know there were some other, I'm gonna fill this in with some other personal stuff that I want to get to this week. And these are the ones that I'm not quite sure if this new format's gonna work for me because I don't necessarily have a set day that I need to do these things or want to do these things. So I'm trying to decide. Maybe I should have made this category like generic. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cross this off. It's okay to be team cross off, guys, and just write to do. And these are some of the things that aren't specific to days. So one of the things is updating the pack list from actually being gone. I want to make some changes based on our actual trip that we just took. We got some gifts while we were down there, so I need to do thank you cards for that. And then I could have sworn there was one more thing. Where did my list go? I need to do some Amazon returns. Actually, those I probably could have put on a specific day. What I was thinking was I need to print out the labels, and then I also need to go to the UPS store to pick up some packages that came, but then also could return the Amazon stuff. But that's okay. Okay, I think that's it for now. I say for now. I'm sure I will add stuff. If work stuff pops up, I will use this color, like little work things that I'm like, oh, on Thursday I'm gonna do this. And then personal stuff will likely continue to pop up, and then I will just reference this when I plan out each week. All right, and then the last step of my weekly planning is my time tracker sheet that I created myself to be exactly what I want it to be, inspired by the time tracker in the HB90 planner, which is what I used for a very long time, but just, again, adjusted for what I need for me. And so in terms of my work tasks this week, I've got 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these pink ones, which is recurring tasks, 2 green ones, which is the challenge stuff that I was talking about earlier. And then I always do a miscellaneous category just in case stuff pops up. Okay, so I have my communication routine. I also feel like I've gotten a lot of DMs since I first shared this about what app I use to track my time. And if I'm being totally honest, I don't like the one I'm using. I'm trying it out. I don't love it. It works, but I don't feel like I really want to recommend it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it gets the job done. Really, I could probably just set a timer and it would work the exact same way. I think the one benefit of having the app is that if I work on something, let's say for 15 minutes earlier in the day during one nap, and then I work on it again later in the day in a different nap, it sums it up for me, right? And then at the end of the day, I can say, oh, I spent this much time on this particular thing. Otherwise, I don't even know if I really need it, but it is what it is. All right, I'm just writing these things down. It's a lot of repeat of what you already saw on the actual plan. This is just, again, where I track my time, and having it like this is for 2 reasons. One, it gives me the accountability to, actually there's 3 reasons. One is accountability, like that I'm actually doing it and spending time. But 2 is the motivation, and like even if I spend 15 minutes on something, I still track it. And so I feel that sense of accomplishment where I may not be fully checking it off, but at least I get to write down that I spent some time on it. And then 3 is for future knowledge, right? To know how long it takes me to do stuff, how long I spend on things, stuff I've been doing for years. I have a pretty good sense of how long it takes me, but some stuff I'm learning how long it takes me. Like editing the podcast, I'm learning how long that takes me with our new format. And so tracking that is really helpful. So, okay, now I'm gonna go fill in the estimated time blocks for each of these, which are always truly an estimate because sometimes it takes me like way more or way less. I don't, why am I so bad at that? Why are we all so bad at that? I feel like guessing how long things are gonna take is always a struggle. Okay, also, so is talking and writing at the same time. Okay, so these are all the individual estimates or allocated time for the week. Miscellaneous is 0. It always starts at 0, but I do always somehow end up spending time on miscellaneous tasks, whether it's a longer email or who knows what. All right, and then in terms of by day, I have it broken down by 9, 9, 12, 4, and 0, which totals up to 34, and we will see how that ends up panning out. So that is going to be it for this plan with me. Those are all the things I do to set up my week and make me feel like I'm ready for the week. If you have any questions, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching.